Hi, I'm Ryan Maliar, and you're watching Arts for the Masses. The arts are alive in Massachusetts, and I'm the lucky guy who gets to bring them to you. There is so much wonderful theater happening all over Massachusetts, and I only get to cover such a small bit of it. So if you are a local theater company and you'd like to hop on for an interview either via eCam, via this virtual platform that I'm working with right now, or even in person, get in touch. I'd love to have you on. But today I have a really excellent threesome, a whole trio of guests that are here on the show today. We have Square One Players based out of Shrewsbury, and they're working on a production right now, and they're brand new to me. Maybe they're new to you too. They only got started a few years ago, right after the pandemic. They have a beautiful story, a beautiful mission statement, and I think they're a great group of friends from what I gather. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yes, I'm very happy to be here.
So let's start from the very beginning, a very good place to start. How did Square One Players come about?
Well, it started, the three of us were a part of a previous theater group. And when the pandemic hit, that particular group decided to disband. But there was already a show in place, and we were about a couple of weeks away from opening that show. So we already had the cast, we had the director, we had the costumes and the set, and we had it all set. And then, of course, we had to shut down. And then that particular theater group decided they didn't want to carry on, and we just couldn't let that show go because it was over the river and through the woods, and it was such a great show. So we decided, you know what, when the world gets back up and running again, we want to put this show on. And we can do this. We've been involved in theater for the three of us for a long time. So we said, we can do this on ourselves. Why not? So Tara does a lot of the tech stuff. I'm the production manager, so I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff with programs and all that fun stuff. And Tara here helps me and helps backstage. So like, we got this. We can do this.
You
So
didn't
that's how.
introduce yourself, so let's just go down the line. We have
Oh,
a Terra sandwich right here, and I want to make sure everyone
yeah.
knows who we're talking to. So who's the first Tara?
Okay, I'll start. I'm Tara Wykes. I'm the technical director, backstage lights person.
And I'm Joanne Smith. I'm the production manager.
And I'm Tara Alano. I am the assistant production manager and backstage and all around clown of the group.
Now, you had mentioned that first show, Over the River and Through the Woods. I didn't see that one listed on your website, but that was your premiere production, the first one you started with?
Yes, it was, and it was very well received. Everybody loved it, and it was a great show. And so we decided from there. I was like, okay, what are we doing next? So we did our spring show, which was Exit Laughing, and that was well received. Everybody loved that, and now we're about to do Nunsense in about 3 weeks. We're open for Nunsense.
Yep, we're engaging in our first musical. So this is a
Yes.
big step for us.
Yes.
It's a big step.
Now, Nunsense has been done countless numbers of times. There is a whole Nunsense franchise if you start digging in. Nunsense Jamboree, Nunsense Goes to College. I don't even know. There are so many of them, but you're doing
There's
the,
so many
Many
at this point, right?
but you're doing the original Nunsense. For those who haven't seen it before, and I've seen it a few times, this show is hysterical, and it really does stand the test of time. The comedy is just it just ages really well. Whether you're a Catholic or not, I always enjoy seeing this show. What was it that drew you to this show, especially for being your first foray into musicals?
Well, for a number of reasons. One, we like lighthearted comedy music. That's what we like for the first part. Second is it's only five women. So the stage that we are on is not particularly big. So it lends very well that
Yeah,
we.
it's conducive to the fact that we don't have a lot of space to play with. So when we choose plays or musicals to do,
Right.
we have a lot of criteria that unfortunately we have to meet before we can even do that for it to function well. So I think that was part of our choice. And then we know our audience really well, so we kind of know what will fit with what will draw. Because unfortunately, it takes an audience to put on a play and to put on another play and to put on another play. So we kind of try to gear it towards those type of things. I think we were all three of us were all comfortable and really enjoyed the music and the banter in it, and so we kind of gear it towards those kind of things that the three of us kind of like ourselves.
Now, you mentioned you do play in a small space, but the photos I've seen of the venue, it's a really beautiful space, and it's a different place than you'd
Yes.
think of for seeing productions. Tell us where you do these wonderful shows.
Well, we're here in Southgate, which is in Shrewsbury on Julio Drive. We are very, very lucky to be here. The other theater group was here for about 10 years, and when they decided to leave, the woman who was the liaison here knew the three of us very well. So she said, if you guys want to do it, go right ahead. We enjoy working with you. And we said, oh my God, yes, we would love it. So the theater holds about 175 people. Like I said, the stage is kind of small, but it's intimate and it's great. People love it.
It's air conditioned.
It's a plus.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It's easily accessible because we are in a retirement community,
Right.
so it's easily accessible for anybody who's handicapped.
And do you have
Yeah,
a built
it's
do you have
nice.
a
It's our
built-in
relationship.
do you have a built-in audience then with all of the people from the community that are surrounding?
As part of the criteria for working here, we do a production just for the facility. So we will run a production free of charge for the facility to come and enjoy and see the show. So that's something that we enjoy doing too. Just kind of like giving back in that respect for their graciousness of being hosts to us working and producing here. It's nice.
Yep. And a lot of the residents will come in and during rehearsals and sit and watch some of the rehearsal.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
So
fun.
they get to see what we're working on, and then they get to enjoy the final product.
They see it progress.
Have any of the residents gotten involved or shown up to auditions?
We did have one.
Yeah, we had one for one of our shows, and she was lovely.
Yes, she was very good.
Yeah, there have been a couple that have kind of sat and wanted to help with maybe handing out pamphlets and stuff. I mean, they've been really gracious.
Very. We had one help us for Exit Laughing. The girls had to learn how to play bridge.
Yep.
And none of the cast knew how to play bridge. So one of the residents, they actually have a bridge club here. So one of the residents said, "Oh, well, I'll teach them. And he jumped right in and he gave the girls a great base to understand what they were doing when they were playing. Mm-hmm. So they've been very, very helpful.
Now, when I was asking you earlier, Joanne, what your background is in theater, I'm always curious if the people that have started theater companies have started as performers on stage, and you said right out the bat, absolutely not. That's the last place you want to see me is on stage. And I'm just curious about all of your backgrounds and how you got involved in theater and the sense of community that it's given you.
Sure, won't you
Yeah.
start?
I did used to dance. That's about all I'll do on stage. But my first show was actually here when I was out of high school. And I started doing Spotlight and I started doing behind the scenes work at college and learning lights and costumes. And I loved the college environment of putting on shows. And I am from Worcester. I'm from this area. So I just was able to continue that on in the Shrewsbury community and keep doing my behind the scenes work that I really like doing. And working with that community that I've been a part of for so long now. And then I met these guys.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I started in utero. My mother was a director of a community player group in Brockton, and but then I did dance till I was in like 6th grade, and I was like, I don't want to be on stage. I'm done with stage. But then my son got involved when he was in high school. He decided to get involved in theater, so I decided to help out behind the scenes. And one thing led to another, and then I got involved with the previous group, and here we are.
Me, I'm kind of like the other Tara. Like I'd rather be behind the scenes, but I did do some theater in high school, plays. Then it took a turn to just raising a family and so forth. And then me and Joanne became friends 100 years ago. And she had called me one day frantic that she had needed some help and could I come and help? And I was like, sure, no problem. So it started with me kind of helping at the door and doing tickets. And then it just kind of progressed into me doing stuff backstage. And now it's assistant production. And we just kind of work together. It's kind of like a sisterhood, really.
Yeah, exactly. The three of us work very well
extremely well together.
One thing that I've commented before is there are very special bonds that are formed in community theater, especially. Mm-hmm. And I've done my share of professional shows and tours, but it's the memories that I have from growing up and doing community theater and now having the chance to return back to those roots that really are special. Those are where I've made lifelong friendships and that chosen family group. Do you find that same connection, and are you building that sort of community?
Oh, we certainly hope so. That's what we're striving for.
Yes, definitely.
We've made a lot of good friends who have been in previous shows with us and who are sticking around and helping us. One of the ladies who was in Nunsense, a couple of the ladies who were in Nunsense were in shows previous in the other theater group. And they came back when they knew what we were doing, our own group. They said, "Oh, we love working with you. We wanted," and we've created a lot of friendships.
We have fun. It really is fun. I mean,
we do.
I enjoy backstage. It's crazy, but I love it. We make so many good friends, and we have such a good time that those friendships just kind of stand the width of time, and they don't just disappear when the shows disappear. We keep in touch with a lot of them. We go to lunch, we go to dinner.
Tara's marrying one of them.
Yeah, Tara's marrying one of them. So we'll be going to her wedding, which is talking about a progression. So we've seen her go through college, and now this. It becomes a very close-knit family. It really does. Yeah. It does.
Now, I've already professed my love of Nunsense, but for those who haven't seen it, and we want to get people in the doors and selling some tickets to this production, which is going to be tremendous, can you give everyone a little nutshell version of what the show is all about and what audiences can expect?
Oh, sure. Well, it's about the Little Sisters of Hoboken and Sister Julia Child of God. Julia Child of God made a Vichy soir.
That wasn't so good.
That kind of killed a majority of the sisterhood. So
literally.
they have to bury. They buried most of them, and there's like five sisters left.
Five sisters in the
freezer that they couldn't afford to bury. So now they have to do a fundraiser in order to bury the last sisters, and so that's what this show is their fundraiser. So they're singing and dancing and everything. And so they interact with the crowd a lot. They do a little quiz and they give out little prizes and they're in and out of the audience, talking to them, interacting with them. So it's not just, a play or a musical. You're just watching. You're a part of it. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's very lighthearted, just a fun night out.
Oh, there's songs that are like, the 50s type style. There's country style. Yeah.
You'll be singing them all night.
You start you go home. You leave rehearsal humming the stuff. So it's like,
for sure. I'm singing in the shower and I don't sing. So.
And each of the nuns have very distinct personalities, right?
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You've got the five nuns. You've got, you got Mother Superior, of course.
Who has one of the best monologues.
Hubert,
the Mother Superior has one of the best monologues that you can ever see on stage. I'm not going to give it away.
Yeah.
But just wait for Free Willy. That's all I'm going to say. That's my one of my favorite lines in the whole show.
Mother Superior is going to she is a hoot.
Yeah,
so,
she is.
You'll be shocked when you see her.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, Sister Mary Amnesia, who forgets who she is. Cross fell on her head and she doesn't remember who she is. Sister Mary Leo, who's the novice.
Who wants to be a ballerina.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Sister Robert Ann.
Yeah.
Sister Robert Ann, who's the Brooklyn. She's from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
She's the tough nun.
Yeah.
Who do we have working on the show? Can you give any shout outs to the creative team?
Well, we have our director, who is Jeremy Wolowski, and our choreographer, Kelly Manson, and our music director is Dan Murphy.
Yep, they're a great crew. We've worked with them before, and we really enjoy working with them.
Mhm.
They make such a fun
Yes.
experience and put on
for
such
sure.
a great show.
For
Yes, it's a good group. It's a really good
It is.
group.
Yeah.
So where can people find information about tickets? Do we need to buy them in advance? Can we show up at the door?
You can just show up in the door. We prefer you reserve them. You don't have to pay for them until you come. But if you go to our website, squareoneplayers.com, or you can call us, 508-669-7750. Call that, and you can reserve your ticket that way. And then when you come to the door, you can pay for it, cash, check, credit card, however you want to pay. There's no assigned seating, so we suggest you get to the door about a half an hour before the show, so that you can get in and get your seats, especially if you have a larger group. You want to get your seats together.
I'm always looking for recommendations when I go to a new theater. Can you recommend any local restaurants or coffee shops nearby that I could grab a bite before I come in and check out your performance?
Sure. There's Amici's in the center of town. They have great Italian style, but they do have some American food as well. There's always a Dunkin' Donuts around. There's a Panera in town. We have the Dean Park Pizza, which is great for pub style food and pizza. There's also Black Diamond Coffee. Is it still called Black Diamond? I'm sorry if I got the name wrong.
No,
I don't remember the name.
They're gone now.
All right.
Tavern in the Square.
Tavern in the Square. That's right.
Yeah. Not Bertucci's.
No, that's the other one. Oh, good God.
Hey, that's okay. That's what Yelp is for.
Yeah.
But hopefully people will make a night of it, grab
Yeah,
something
that's right.
to
You gotta
eat.
Google it. Come on, people.
That's what Yelp
Google.
is for. That's what Yelp is for. Google, excellent. So you also have some really exciting shows coming up, and you're going to go big next season from what I can see. Tell us about these exciting productions that you've lined up.
Yes, so we are. So we only do 2 shows a year. Typically we do a play in the spring and then a musical in the summer. So our spring show is Leading Ladies, which is a great play. It's almost like Some Like It Hot. And then we have Spam-A-Lot coming in the summer, which is a big show. We have a director that Tara knows. We have a director who has done the show before in a small space. So he knows how to make it work in a small space. So we're very excited to be able to work with him.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting, for sure.
It'll be a daunting task for Square One players.
Yes, it'll be
It's
interesting.
the next step for us. So.
We like to challenge ourselves.
Yeah.
But often I find when people are working with smaller budgets or on smaller stages and you have to get creative, the shows really come alive in a very different way, as opposed to if your pockets are loaded and you can just rent scenery and costumes and it looks like a carbon copy of Broadway, but it's missing the originality.
Right.
And now just forcing you to think out of the box a little bit really allows you to put your stamp on it, right?
Does. I agree.
For
I
sure.
agree. And I also think the camaraderie that they build, like the characters, they form so much easier and so much better when they're left to the devices of being creative.
When they're squished
when they're
backstage.
squished backstage and they get close quarters, you kind of really get to know everybody.
Yes,
so
you do.
it is. It's definitely conducive to having it become its own show.
Yeah.
Definitely.
For sure.
I know the company has only been around since 2020, but do any of you have favorite memories, either an experience or a particular moment in a show or something crazy that happened that you could tell us a little story about?
That always happens to me. So, I've been left on stage during a production.
Yeah.
I am going to make a little sneak appearance in this production, which will be scary. We dressed when we did do a play with another theater group, all 3 of us. That was Drinking Habits, which was also based out of the clergy, and I think we had fun putting the habits on ourselves. We enjoy it. We have a good time. We have fun. Those are the memories.
Yeah.
We just
Over the river, it was about the whole family. So we just had them play dress up, and we had a photo shoot one day. We found different places and had a fake little baptism or like Hawaiian t-shirts. Like
it's just fun.
Yeah,
we do. We have a good time with it.
yeah.
I think kind of more than just the show. We kind of okay, where'd it come from? The background, like you said, putting in photos.
Putting in this whole family
and
story
hang them
together.
on the wall. And I mean, we kind of make our little Easter egg on every set
always.
where the two of us will take a crazy picture and plant it on set. And just fun little stuff like that. Yeah, we have a good time.
Well, I just want to take a moment and wish you all the best of luck in all of your future endeavors. It sounds like you really have a good grasp of what you're doing, and you're taking the reins at starting this new theater company. And I hope you have a really bright and wonderful future. And I just want to encourage anyone who's watching right now to follow this group. And if you live near Shrewsbury, or even if you don't live near Shrewsbury, this is going out to everyone in Massachusetts. Come on down and make a night of it and enjoy a great night of theater, and follow this group. Join their mailing list, follow them on their website and on Facebook, which is how I found them. And so you can keep up to date with all of their latest doings. Sound good?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ryan.
So
we appreciate it. Come see the show. Come join us.
Come have some fun with our nuns.
Yes.
Thank you so much. That brings us to the end of another episode of Arts for the Masses. Thank you for being a patron of the arts and going out there and supporting the arts all throughout Massachusetts. There are wonderful things happening right in your community. So if you think they deserve a little attention, please be in touch with me. I'd love to help you showcase them. I'm Ryan Maliar. Take care.